Hi, my name is Dawn and this is Infinite You Life Coaching. Today we'll be doing the yoga vinyasa, so doing a flow that's geared towards our spine. So as we move about the mat today, have your attention on your spine. Notice the flexion, notice the extension, how it feels when you twist or move to the side. So really moving our upper body, just trying to get some mobility in our spine. As we age, we tend to lose strength and mobility in our spine. You start to see our back start to curve and unable to bend down and lift things. We want to avoid that. So what better time than now to at least maintain the mobility we have? You may be very young and thinking, I really don't need to worry about that at the moment. Well, what better time than now to maintain the awesome mobility that you have? So not only are we looking to maintain, but maybe there's room for improvement there. With any yoga practice, it's really important that you're very mindful of how your body feels. Your body's always speaking to you. If you're feeling pain, then it's important that you back off, especially when we're doing spine stuff, but really any practice. So part of a yoga practice is looking inwards and seeing, what is my body telling me? So as we're moving today, if something doesn't feel good, back off. There's always other options that you can take. If anything, just get into a child's pose and just relax until we move on to the next pose. We're going to be working with some twists and also a camel. So just be mindful of what your body's telling you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into a comfortable seated position in the mat. I'm actually going to get onto my knees here. And from there, if this is uncomfortable, you can always put a block under you. You can sit cross-legged for this part as well. We're just going to ground down into our mat. So at this point, arriving. We want to leave behind where we were and arrive now. So for the next hour, you have nowhere to go. You have nothing to do. You can put your attention inward on your body during our yoga practice. So once you find that comfortable position, we want to sit with a nice tall spine. Imagine a string pulling you up. And then if you're seated on your feet, you'll feel your feet and your shins touching the floor. If you're cross-legged, notice where your sit bones are touching the floor. Allow your mat to support you and see your mat as a safe place. Continuing to breathe, not forcing a breath, just allowing. Continuing to sit tall as you ground down. And palms can be on your thighs, assisting that grounding process. And then maybe setting an intention for today. Maybe it's an affirmation that I stand tall, or that I am flexible, not only with my body, but with my mind. Or maybe even just taking it down to, I am aware of my breath. And I love the I am aware of my breath because we can use that on the mat, off the mat, at times of peace, in times of stress. I am aware of my breath. My breath is an anchor to my inner peace. And when it feels comfortable, you can flutter your eyelids open. And we're going to begin in whichever seated position you're in with some seated cat-cows. So very gently, we're going to inhale as we open our chest and curve our lower back. As we exhale, curving our back away from us as we lower our chin to our chest, opening the shoulder blade area. Again, inhaling forward, going as deep as comfortable. Maybe getting a little deeper each time. Exhaling, curving our back, chin to chest. And one more time, inhaling, opening the chest, maybe this time taking your gaze up to the sky. Exhaling, curving, noticing that spine, moving one vertebrae at a time as you lower your chin to your chest and really pushing away this time. And then coming back up to our seated position, we're going to inhale our hands up. Exhale, bringing your palms to the floor and sliding them forward. On the end of that exhale, or maybe even a pause in between, coming back up to a seated position, inhale your arms up, palms touch, opening your palms to the front. Exhale as you come down, hands to floor, sliding your hands forward. Again, not inhaling yet, but moving your body back up to a seated position, then inhaling your arms up for one more round. Exhaling, palms to floor, slide your palms forward. Then once you're here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to walk our hands to the right side. And once you have your hands here, we're going to experiment just a little bit. Just continue to breathe normally. Maybe a little deeply, but push your hands into the floor. See how that feels. Then taking your left hand, make a little karate chop action there so that you're on the blade of your hand. And then reach your hands away from you. Notice what you feel here. And then one last modification, taking your left hand on top of your right. Again, pushing your hands into the floor and energetically, or maybe even moving them away from you, depending on how much room you have. Notice how all of those felt. Now take a deep breath into that left side body. And slowly exhale. We'll do that one more time. Long, slow, deep breath into that left side. Feel your ribs expand. And gently exhale. Unwinding your hands and slowly walking back to center, we'll take an inhale. Exhale, taking our hands to the left side. Again, just both palms down. Notice where you feel the stretch. Then with your right hand, making that karate chop action, so having that bottom blade of your hand pushing into the floor. Notice how that feels. And then lastly, taking your right hand on top of your left, pushing both hands into the floor, maybe even extending them forward just a little bit more. And then taking a long, slow, deep breath in. And gently letting that go. And we're going to do that again. Breathing into those right ribs. And gently let that go. Taking an inhale. And exhale, walking your hands back to center. We're just going to allow our head to sit on the floor for a moment. Maybe just relax your elbows down. And when you're ready, using your hands to walk your body back up to a seated position. This time, and I'm just going to turn so you can see my hands. We're going to take our fingertips behind us, so fingers can be pointing away here. It gives you a little more space. And you're going to start just by opening your chest. And I like to take a very gentle side-to-side motion just to settle in and find my center. You can stay here, or on your next exhale, bring your hips up and open that lower spine as well. Continuing to breathe. If it's comfortable, you can drop your head back. And when you're ready, bring your head back up, then slowly lowering your hips back down. We're going to now bring our hands interlaced behind our back. And allow your chest to open. Think about your collarbones and your shoulders moving away from each other. your fists are moving down towards the floor, and if it feels comfortable, then moving your fists up and away from your body. Continuing to breathe. And then we're going to let go of our fingers and switch which thumb is on top. Seems like a subtle difference, but I find that it does make a big difference in my upper body and my shoulders. And just hold this pose just for a moment. On an inhale, exhale, we're going to just lean our body forward, and maybe your forehead touches the floor, maybe it doesn't, but just allowing your head to move forward. You can keep your arms in a comfortable position, or you can, if it's within your body's mobility, to lift your fists up towards the ceiling, up and away from your body. Continuing to breathe. Let's take an inhale. Exhale, using your fists to lead the way, we're going to come back up into a seated position. Again, I'm just going to move my body so you can see me better. If you were sitting cross-legged, I guess you could continue to sit that way for a bit, but in a couple of asana, I'm going to ask you to move into a similar position as this one. Let's start by inhaling our hands up. And go ahead and grab your right wrist with your left palm. And we'll take an inhale as we move our hands upward. Exhale, allow your hands to move to that left side. Maybe taking your gaze up, opening those shoulders just a little bit more. We'll inhale back to center. Now opposite wrists, grabbing your left wrist with your right hand, inhaling as you extend up, exhale as we allow our body to move to that right side. Maybe taking your gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhaling back to center. And from here, we're going to exhale, and we're just going to come into a twist. Remember, we're not forcing the twist, so I like to take my body in a T first, going as far as my body allows, dropping that back hand, and then just bringing the front hand to your front knee. So you have your right hand on your left knee, left hand's behind you. We're going to inhale, bringing your spine nice and tall, extending it upward. Exhaling, maybe taking your gaze back behind you. Inhaling, extending your spine upwards. Exhale, deepening the twist. Remember, using your heart center here. Take one more inhale up. Exhale, deepen. And then as we inhale, we'll unwind to center, arms back up. Exhale, twisting to the right side, bringing your left hand to your right knee and your right hand behind you. Again, inhaling, extending that spine like a string is pulling you straight up. Exhaling, deepening your twist, maybe taking your gaze over your shoulder. Now, the importance of that inhaling and pulling that extension, that string, is so important because it allows space between your vertebrae. So there is a point to that extension. Let's do one more inhale, spine up. Exhale, deepen your twist. Remember, you're not forcing with your hands. They're just merely there for support. And then unwind as you inhale. From here, if you're seated in a cross-legged position, we're going to come into this seiza, Japanese seated position. And we're just going to drop our left hips to the side so that your feet are right next to you. And from here, all we're going to do is resting your right hand on your right shin. We're going to inhale that left arm out to the side, up and over. opening up that side body, also moving your spine. You can take your gaze up, which will help you keep that shoulder open and in line. Continuing to breathe. You can feel this all along that side body, maybe even down into your hips. And then we're just going to unwind and come back into that seated position. Sitting back on your heels just for a moment if it's uncomfortable. And we're going to let our hips go to the other side. So dropping our hips to the right, feet are alongside of you. Then taking your left hand onto your left shin and your right hand palm up out to the side. We're going to inhale up and over our body, allowing your right side body to open this time. Maybe taking your gaze up to the sky to hold that shoulder open. Extending your fingertips. Really opening that whole side body, but also notice the position of your spine. Nothing is being forced here. We're just allowing. Take one more deep breath in, right into that right side body. And as you let that go, we'll unwind. And from here, again, I'm just going to move my body into a different position so that you can see. So you should be facing the long ways of your mat at this point. And from here, we're going to come into our camel. So we have a couple steps that are going to lead up to that. So inhaling, we're going to put our hands up, straight up to the sky. Exhaling, you're going to take your arms out to a T. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, T it to the other side. We're going to do that 2 more times. So inhale, coming to that first side. Inhale. Exhale to the second side. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, T. Really stretch out those fingertips. We're going to pause on the side just for a moment. Stretch. Inhale, palms up. And exhale to a T on that last side. Really extending your fingertips, holding it here just for a moment. We'll come back, inhale, arms up. As you exhale, we're going to be coming into our camel. So from here, having a wide base, a nice foundation, your legs can be directly under your hip bones. We're going to take our hands. You can put your palms on your lower back with fingertips down, but I find there's more support if you do have the mobility to get your fingertips up. So remember listening to your body. We're going to inhale, extending our spine upward. Then exhale, using your glutes, pushing your hips forward and just allowing your hips and your legs to be the strength here. They're determining how far back you go. Think about your heart opening up to the sky, continuing to breathe here. If it's within your practice and you'd like to take a different variation, you could either tuck your toes and lower your hands down to your heels, or another variation to go a little deeper would be to have your feet flat and then lowering down to your feet. Wherever you are, if it gets too uncomfortable, you're going to let it go and come back up. To do that, you can put your fingers back on your lower back if you took them off, and then straightening out your head and bringing up your body. So coming out, we're just going to come into just a quick child's pose here. And you can just allow your hands to drape right next to your body, just as a counter pose to camel. Our bodies don't typically move in that direction, so giving a little TLC, tender care here. Maybe a gentle rock side to side. And then from here, we're just gonna sit ourselves back up, come back onto our knees, and we're gonna step our left foot forward. And from here, we're gonna come into a low lunge, inhaling our hands up. Exhaling, turning to the bent knee side, extending our fingertips out to the side. Bringing your hands into prayer position. We're gonna drop our elbow down to our knee. Now we don't wanna let our bodies cave down here, so you're thinking about your hands being at about heart level. Your gaze could be down at the floor. You could be looking out to the side or up to the sky. Continuing to breathe. Your breath is always a guide to when something becomes too difficult and you should backstep. From here, you can stay in this position, or taking your gaze down to the mat, tucking your back toes. We're just gonna lift that back leg. Again, we can return our gaze back to the ceiling to challenge ourselves for balance. Continuing to breathe. And then returning our gaze to the floor, you can either step your foot forward to come into that chair twist, or you can bring your hands down to the floor and step your back leg forward and then return back to your chair twist. Lowering your hips as low as you can. Maybe even going just a little bit lower. And then from here, we're going to keep our hands in prayer and come back to center. And then taking our hands behind us, we're going to inhale our hands up into a chair. You can stay here or challenge your balance again by coming up onto your toes. Lowering your heels. We're going to come down into a forward fold. Knees can be bent here. We're going to inhale halfway, maybe coming with your hands up to your shins. Exhaling back into our forward fold. Maybe your knees are bent here. It's listening to your body. And from here, we're going to repeat that series on the other side. So stepping our right foot back and allowing our I have that backwards. Left foot back, lowering your left knee to the mat, untucking your toe. Inhaling, coming into a low lunge. Exhaling, teeing your arms out to the side, allowing your fingertips to move away from each other. From here, bringing your hands into prayer position. And then bringing your left elbow to your right knee. Again, check those hand positions. You don't want your hands at shoulder height, you want it more at heart level. So really pushing into the hands are together and elbow pushing into your knee. You can take your gaze to the floor in front of you, up to the ceiling. If you'd like to take it to the next variation, you can tuck your toes and straighten that back leg. Then maybe taking your gaze back up to the sky to challenge your balance. And then either lowering your hands to the floor so that you can move your back foot forward, or taking your gaze to the floor, leaving your elbow where it is, and just stepping your back foot to meet your front foot. Again, we want to lower our hips here. Nice strong legs, not sinking into our shoulders. Gaze can be up to the sky. Lower those hips just a little bit more. Allowing your prayer hands to come to the front. And then bringing your hands back, we'll inhale them up to chair. Continuing to breathe. If you want to challenge your balance, you can come up onto your toes, really working your glutes here. Continue to breathe. and then allowing your heels to come down. We're gonna come down and allow our body to come into a forward fold. Now, being a good gauge about your knees, we're gonna be doing a ragdoll here, so you may even wanna step your feet apart just a little bit, grabbing opposite elbows, knees bent. In fact, your belly could be just resting on your thighs. And then just allowing your upper body to completely be heavy. Allowing gravity to pull you down. Maybe taking your head side to side or nodding up and down just to help release those vertebrae. Feel your arms are heavy. You can stay here, or you can release your hands with palms up. You're going to turn your fingers and allow your hands to come underneath your feet, and you can use your toes to massage your palms. Again, knees can be bent here. You can be resting your belly on your thighs. And really allow your upper body to relax. And allow your feet to massage your hands. And when it feels ready, we're going to put our hands back down. Let's go ahead and inhale halfway up. Exhale down. And we're going to heel toe our feet wide as we come into Malasana squat. So our toes should be pointed away from us, maybe touching the very edge of your mat. If you need a block here, you can sit on a block. I didn't set my blocks next to me today. But we're lowering our tailbone down to the floor while allowing our spine to be pulled by that invisible string. If your heels are up here, you can always roll a towel or a mat and put them under your heels just for extra support. And you're just breathing. We're going to drop our left hand down to the mat as we inhale the right hand up. Exhale, drop the right hand down. Inhale the left hand up. And back to the other side. Exhale the hand down. Inhale right hand up. And to the left. Exhale down. Last round, inhale up. Exhale right hand down. Inhale, left hand up. We'll come back to Malasana one more time. Really opening your hips right here. Nice tall spine. Listening to your body, listening to your breath. And when it feels comfortable, you can use your hands to help guide your bottom down to the mat. We're going to put our feet in front of us so that we can move into a boat pose. So just lifting your legs, you can hold on to the back of your knees. If even this seems like too much, you can just drop your toes down as well. If you'd like to take your hands palm up to the side, your back should be nice and straight, maybe even rolling your shoulders back and away from your ears. Maybe even extending your feet out in front of you. Take one more breath here. And then bringing your feet together, I'm just going to turn to face you, but you can stay right where you are. We're just going to take our feet into butterfly pose. So with soles of your feet together, we want to have our spine nice and tall. So imagine that string pulling your spine up. And continue to breathe. Allowing your heart to slow. We did some difficult positions to hold over time. But don't let these asana fool you, especially when our muscles in our back are getting weak. It can be difficult to hold that nice tall spine in these positions. So give yourself a little love and know that this is a lot of work as well. Continue to sit with a nice tall spine. You can feel your sit bones and your feet on the floor. Finding stillness here. We're going to inhale our hands up. Exhaling, bringing your right palm to your left knee and your left hand behind you. Again, remember, we're not forcing. I can take my hands off and maintain this position. My spine is nice and tall on the inhale. Exhale, maybe taking my gaze and twisting a little deeper. Inhale, nice tall spine. Exhale, deepen the twist. From here, we're going to relax the hand on our knee, and we're just going to bring the hand out that was in back out to the side. So taking that left hand and inhaling it up and over. It's okay if the hand in your lap is moving, and just allow that hand to reach to the other side. Continuing to breathe. Inhale, coming back up. Now on your next inhale, we're going to inhale our hands back up high. Exhale, twisting to the other side. Again, you can have your hands out to the side in a T, just so that you get the twist that you know you're capable of, and then allowing your hands to fall into place. Inhaling a nice tall spine. Exhale, deepen the twist. Inhale, nice tall spine. Exhale, deepen. Let's do that one more time. Then taking that back hand out to the side, allowing the hand in your lap to relax, maybe even palm up. I like palm up. And we're just going to inhale our arm up and over. Feel that stretch in your side body. And from here, we're going to come into a straddle. So opening your feet as wide that is comfortable. So you don't want to overstretch here. So once you find the position that you're in, maybe lifting your bottom and shifting so that you can feel a position that's comfortable. You can leave your hands behind you as an extra support, maybe bringing your hands to prayer or laying them on your legs. Again, we're challenging those small muscles that hold, those erector spinae muscles, that hold our spine nice and tall for us. They're the muscles that kind of sandwich our spine. And they can get weak over time. So even having your hands as a little bit of support behind you, you want your knees and your toes pointing up to the sky. Your sit bones are grounded. Your spine is nice and tall. Continuing to breathe here. I know it's a lot of work. One more breath. And then dropping your right arm, you can put it on your thigh. You could put it down to the mat. And we're just going to inhale the left arm up and over. Really grounding that right hip in the right heel. And just notice what you feel. Continuing to breathe. Using nice long exhales to help your body relax. Inhaling, we're going to come our way back up to center. You're going to take it to the other side, so you can take your left elbow to your thigh, make sure you're not on your knee, or coming down to the mat. You can have a block here as well. Inhaling that right hand up and over, really grounding the right heel and that right sit bone. And you're allowing this pose. You're accepting what you feel and allowing yourself to go a little deeper. And then inhaling back to center. We're going to inhale our hands up. Exhale, bring your fingertips out in front of you and just walking your fingertips to where it feels comfortable. It's going to be different for everyone. Making sure your toes and your knees are pointing up. We could keep our spine straight until we hit that point where we can't go any farther. And then just allow your upper body to soften. And just relax. If you have too much pain and you can't relax, you're too deep. Bring your feet a little closer together. Don't go so low. Listen to what your body's telling you. And give your body permission to relax using your exhales. Maybe every inhale touches where you feel sensation. And the exhale allows that area just to soften. We'll take one more breath here. When you're ready, just using your hands to just push yourself back up. We're going to take our feet out in front of us. You can put your hands behind you, and we're just going to do some windshield wipers. That was a lot for our little hips. And from here, we're going to just take our feet forward. And actually, I'm going to just adjust myself so that you can see. So coming to staff pose, we're really grounding our heels, grounding our sit bones, bringing our hands next to our hips, could be fingertips, could be on a block. Nice tall spine here. Something that I haven't been mentioning that you can do with almost every yoga pose is think about, once you have that straight spine, think about bringing your chin kind of inwards, and you'll feel the back of your neck open up. It's a really good habit for every yoga pose to just go ahead and check that and see, am I caving back into my neck? If so, I want to take my chin and just kind of imagine a gentle fingertip just adjusting. From here, you can stay here, or you can begin to walk your hands back behind you. Going to a comfortable position, we're just going to lower our body down. Then pushing back up, come back into that staff position, and then walk your fingertips to the other side. Again, just going as far back as feels comfortable, bending your elbows and lowering your body down, and then pushing back up into a staff position. From here, we're going to come into a seated forward fold. So a nice tall spine, heels and sit bones are grounded. Keeping that tall spine as you bend from your hips, so not your lower back. You can even put your hands at your hips. This is where we're moving from. If you move an inch, it's an inch, right? It's okay. You're gonna move until you feel that sensation. You can move your hands forward. You can hold the back of your knees. You could hold at your ankles if you can reach your toes. I like holding the balls of my feet because it's very supported by my feet. And from there, now you can relax that spine down. And notice how the sensation changes as you move from that straight spine to a relaxed spine. What does that feel like in your body? Having your toes moving towards your torso can also help move the stretch down into your calves. And just breathe. You, again, should be able to relax. If you're too tense to relax, you're too deep. And it won't do your body any favors to try to force it. It should just be gravity. I'm not pulling, I'm just allowing. And take one more breath here. On your next inhale, pushing into your hands as you walk your body back up to a seated position. from here, we're gonna bend the left leg, so you're bringing your sole into the soft part of your thigh on the side here. And again, we're gonna have that nice tall spine. We're gonna walk our fingertips forward. And then again, allowing our body to just relax in this pose. Continuing to breathe. And then from here, taking your left hand to the outer edge of your right foot, we're just going to extend that right arm out behind us, getting a gentle stretch. Now, if you can't reach your foot, you could either bend your knee or you could hold behind your calf or behind your thigh. And then from here, all we're gonna do is we're gonna take this bent knee and we're gonna put the sole of our foot down. Then imagine diving. We're diving forward and then swimming our stroke around our legs. You can hold it in a V position like this, or you can clasp your fingers behind your back and just breathe. We'll take one more breath. If your hands were clasped, you can release them, and then we're going to take our foot up and over our thigh as we come into a twist. So from here, we're going to take our right arm and you can wrap it around your left thigh, bringing your left hand behind you. If you want to bring your arm straight up, you could bring your elbow here as well. And from here, all we're doing is the same that we've done with every other twist. I'm not cranking into my arm or my arm into my leg. My body is doing that twist. It is kind of holding it there, but I'm not forcing it. And then inhaling a nice tall spine, exhaling, deepening that twist using my heart area, not my arm. I could take my arm away and still stay in this position. Continuing to breathe. Extending your spine on the inhale, deepening the twist on the exhale. One more breath. On your next inhale, you're going to unwind back to our forward-facing pose. You're going to take this knee, and now all we're going to do is, our attempt here is to line our knees up. If you can't, that's okay. You can put a block in here, which can be helpful. You could put your hands in here. Double fists can be helpful. Just make sure you're not pushing on your knee and you're staying on your thigh. If you can get your knee to rest there, or if you can get a block or a rolled towel in between, you can stick your hands underneath your knee just to protect it. You can stay in this position, or we can inhale, extending that spine. Exhale, start lowering our torso and then bringing our forehead towards our knee. And just breathe. No matter where you are, you should feel sensation in your hamstring, in your lower back. It's not about what the pose looks like, it's about what you're feeling and staying safe. We'll take one more breath here. And then pushing into your palms, coming back up into a staff position, and we're just going to repeat that on the other side. So once we're in the staff position, we're going to bend the right knee, bringing the right sole of the foot to the inner left thigh. And from here, extending our spine upwards, bending at our hips, moving our body forward, however far you go, right? So you can have your hands on the floor here, you can bring them to your ankle, to your toe, you can bring your forehead to your knee, whatever feels comfortable. It's about finding that sensation, but not being in pain. Having the ability to relax.
Using those long exhales to soften any tense tissue. And from here, just taking your gaze to your foot, we're taking the right hand to the outer blade of the left foot or to the ankle or behind the knee, whatever feels comfortable, and then extending that left arm up and behind us. Take a breath here. And then as we come forward, we're going to go ahead and we're going to bend. We're going to take the bent knee and straighten it up, and we're going to dive forward, then swim our hands, so your right arm is going around your knee. You can stay in this V position, or if it's within your reach, you can clasp your hands and just relax and breathe. And you can release your hands and then allow your body to come up. From here, we're gonna hop that right foot over our left thigh, grounding the right foot. We can take the left arm into a hug around that right leg with our right arm behind us, or you can extend your arm up to the sky, bringing your elbow into that leg. Remember, you're not forcing. So in your inhale, extending your spine upward. Exhale and deepening your twist from your torso, from your heart center. Inhale, extending your torso. Exhale, deepen the twist. Remember, you should be able to let go and not drastically move your body. On your next inhale, we're going to unwind and we're going to take this bent knee. And again, we're going to let that just drape over the left knee. Now, get your towel or your block and you can support here. You could use your hands as long as your hands fit on your thighs. Don't want to put pressure on your knee from the top. From there, just putting your hands underneath that bottom knee. Inhaling, extending the spine. Maybe staying here, or exhaling, lowering your torso and allowing your forehead to move towards your knee. Nice long exhales. Breathing into any tension and softening on the exhale. You can raise your gaze, push into your palms, and then just walk your body up. We're going to put our feet in front of us. Scoot your bottom just a little bit as we come into our back, and we can take our knees to our chest. Maybe it feels good to bring your forehead to your knees. You could do a rock side to side. Or you can take your knees in a number of different size circles, and you'll notice that as you make the circles bigger and smaller, it touches a different part of your lower back. So I kind of spiral my knees in one direction, like 3 or so rotations as I widen the circle and take the pressure to the outer edges of my lower back. And keep moving your knees, and then we'll come back. We'll do another squeeze in, and then taking your hands to the outer edges of your feet, we're just going to come to a happy baby. Now maybe it feels good to be in stillness. You can also bring your tailbone down towards the floor or down towards the foot of your mat. Your shoulders should be relaxed here. And you can also take your happy baby into a rock side to side, just to help you relax in the pose. Your knees should energetically be moving towards the floor. And from here, we're just going to bring our knees up to a tabletop position. And from here, we're just going to put our arms out in a T. And we're gonna drop our knees to the left side. If you're finding that your right shoulder is really popping off the floor, one trick you can do is you can allow your hips to move to the right side of your mat and then bring your knees down. It just depends how it feels. And from here, you can take your gaze to your right fingertips. You can leave your gaze up at the sky. It's whatever feels good. And just breathe. Let your body soften. And then on your next exhale, so you can breathe in with your arms stretched out. On your next exhale, you're gonna lift your right palm up and over your body to land on top of your left palm. From here, a nice, long, slow, deep breath in as you just trace your fingertips on the floor above you and back around to that T position. Exhale, right arm up and over. Inhale, tracing the floor. Exhale, palms touch. Inhale, open that chest. And then from here, we're going to bring our shins back up to center. If you did move your hips, you're just going to put your toes on the floor. If you moved them to the right, you're probably going to want to move them to the left for the other side. It's totally okay to leave your hips in the center. So if you need to hop your hips to the left side, then bring your shins parallel to the floor. Allow your shins to fall down to that right side with control. Gaze can be up to the sky or taking your gaze to your left fingertips. And allow your body to relax. Let every exhale be permission to soften. And just breathe. And then on your next exhale, you're going to bring your left palm up and over. And then inhale your fingertips around on the floor. Exhale, palms to touch. Inhale, trace the floor. Do that one more time. Exhale, palms touch. Inhale, tracing the floor. Then bringing your knees back up to center, adjusting if your hips were off to the side. From here, with your arms out to the side, probably not in a T, but could be in a T, we're going to come into a gentle bridge. So getting your heels close to your hip bones and then pushing down into your heels as you lift your hips on an inhale. You can push your heels down into the floor and energetically move them forward. And then exhale, allowing your spine to release one vertebrae at a time. Extending your feet out away from you. And then extending your hands up above your head. Make a nice stretch here. And then leaving your hands above your head, we're going to take our right heel off to the right, off the mat, and then your left foot can cross over that. And then allowing your right hand, maybe even walking your shoulders a little, you can then grab onto your left wrist with your right hand, and you'll feel an opening in this banana stretch. That opening up the whole left side body. And you can play with the position a little bit to get the stretch right where you need it. Just remember to breathe. And then coming back, we're gonna put our arms back straight above us. We'll take another long stretch. And taking that left foot way off to the left side of the mat and taking the right foot on top. Taking the left shoulders and left arm to that left side of the mat, then grabbing onto your right wrist. And feel that opening. Continuing to breathe. And we'll come back to center. One more long, deep stretch. Think about what it feels like when you're yawning as you stretch. And then finding your comfortable Shavasana. Whatever feels right for you today. Maybe walking your shoulder blades underneath, having your arms out to your side, palms up, feet falling heavy away from each other, or in a position that feels right for you. And I just want you to notice. Notice what you feel. Notice your breath, maybe your blood pumping through your body or your heart pumping. Noticing your head being very heavy on your mat. And all the spots that are grounding deeply into your mat. Your hip bones, the back of your arms, your shoulders, maybe parts of your back, parts of your legs, your heels. And feel those spots being so, so heavy. And allow your breath to just relax. Maybe noticing your exhales. Allowing every exhale to lead you into stillness and silence. Allowing all the asana that we performed today to sink in. Allow the areas that maybe haven't been moved that way in a while, nourishment and awareness, so that we don't forget them again. And just allowing yourself to let go.
And when it feels comfortable, you can start deepening your breath, bringing your movement from the inside out, starting with your diaphragm. Just breathing deeply. And when it feels comfortable, bringing some gentle motion to your fingers and your toes. Maybe rocking your hands and your feet side to side. Maybe even your head side to side. When it feels comfortable, you can bend your knees, bringing the soles of your feet to the mat. And then rolling into a fetal position onto a comfortable side. Taking a few deep breaths here. And when it feels comfortable, maybe keeping your eyes closed or your gaze softened, just coming into a comfortable seated position. And just notice how you feel here, seated again. If your spine feels any lighter. It should still be in extension, that string always pulling up. Shoulders relaxed, away from your ears. And just watching your breath. Let's take our palms up and out to the side, taking a long, slow, deep breath in. Exhale, bring all that positive energy down to your heart. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, hands out and up, palms touch. Exhale, bringing your palms down to your heart. And gently bowing your head down to your heart. Because it's no small feat showing up to your mat. But know that every time you do, you're offering your body some kind of love and guidance. Offering it the ability to have mobility, strength, or even just your own awareness. It's so easy for us to get distracted by the busy world around us that I do believe our body's healing and wellness does much better when we can give it our attention. Offer our body love. Even those parts that give you trouble, they just need love. So I thank you for showing up on your mat. I thank you for sharing this time with me. And I look forward to doing some yoga with you again. Namaste.